So he's not out the woods just yet.
No, but the yellow itself was sufficient. Leave Bingham needing a snooker.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 2.
It's not lost, is it, Stuart Bingham? Somewhat of a chance here to get in behind the black off a couple of cushions. Didn't quite get into the cue ball. He'll be keen to put this frame to bed, Ronnie, won't he, Clive? He's had a couple of chances, and in fact Stuart had a good one as well. So as I say, important that he just puts this away.
Well, it looked as if he was going to do it more than 10 minutes ago when he was in with 66, but unexpectedly lost position for the penultimate red. So it's turned into a struggle.
Just interesting there where the pink and black have finished. I just wonder if Stuart Bingham might play the green. This left middle pocket here. Might be worth playing the pot. No, siding against it, but the reason I say that... Oh, that's a good shot. Done well to get the snooker there, but as I say, the reason I say that, if he potted green, brown, blue and got in behind the pink, somewhere around where the green is right now, they almost be a guaranteed snooker. That's a good shot. Expect Ronnie to hit this, and this is his chance. Maybe he's going to try and get one off the brown here, screwing in behind the blue. Difficult to control these little shots. If you get it, it's going to be a good one, but as I say, it's tricky.
Stuart Bingham, 3.
Yes, and putting the brown so close to the pink has made it trickier. Just shows how good a snooker has to be for O'Sullivan not to hit it.
Got the snooker again, Clive, but shouldn't be a problem again. This just to trace the left hand side. Ronnie would do well here to shift black or pink somewhere. He probably won't. He'll play the pot in the brown, but as I say, Stuart gets a chance to pot brown. He'll definitely take blue in addition. Somewhere in behind the pink, it would almost be a guaranteed snooker, so still in the melting pot, this frame.
Foul. Ronnie O'Sullivan 6. Free ball.
Because the non-offender can't hit
Pink ball.
both edges of the ball on. So for O'Sullivan, that pink was an extra brown.
4.
Despite making a 66 break early on, it was still a struggle for O'Sullivan to
Foul. Ronnie
clinch this
O'Sullivan 8,
second
Stuart
frame.
Bingham 5, frame Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Bingham had a fleeting chance to snatch it, but it's O'Sullivan's frame, and the score is 1-1.
The third frame, Stuart Bingham to break.
First to 10 wins. It's 1-1. Very important for Bingham to stay with O'Sullivan in the early stages. You may have heard O'Sullivan's gasp of disappointment as he realised he was off beam. That attempted long pot by a long way. Even if he missed it, he wasn't expecting to leave this red.
1.
We mentioned concern about, not concern, but mentioned Ronnie's long game.
8.
First couple of frames. It's not been up to scratch today, Clive, is it? This far?
9.
No. That was more or less a three-quarter ball long pot, and in the end he hit it pretty well full in the face.
16.
Had he only just missed it, he would have covered what proved to be an easy red for
17.
Bingham. He would have covered it by means of the bunch.
$24.
That was well controlled for Stuart. That to the inch, so if he wishes he can play low in the black here.
25.
He has done. If he wishes, he can try and bring some more reds into play. Just depends how he sees this. He may well play for the red up the table. Of course, playing for that, if he lands nice on it, he can take his pick as far as getting an angle in the next colour. Either blue or yellow, I would suggest.
32. $33.
In the early stages of a match, you just only much later that thoughts of winning or losing really come into it.
Foul. Stuart Bingham 33, Ronnie O'Sullivan 5.
Very unlucky. Played the cannon on the pink just about perfectly, but a red comes out of the bunch and drops in.
One.
So Bingham, instead of being 38-0 and on He has to sit down and see what kind of counter-attack O'Sullivan can manufacture.
Now that was a delicious little shot from Ronnie.
4.
To have a nice angle in the red to bring the others into play as well.
5.
Flirted with the middle pocket.
Yeah, this time it was Ronnie's turn for his heart to probably just skip a little beat there. It's worked out just about perfect. Is he straight enough in this red to drop it through for the black?
$11.
This is where he's so good, Clive, isn't he? He
18.
seems to just sort everything out so quickly. And it's with control
19.
as well. That's the amazing thing.
$26.
There's another clever little shot. Look at that.
27.
See, he does it quickly. This blue, well, I assume he's going to pot. Put him 4 points in front, and almost in the blink of an eye, he's looking like winning this frame from absolutely nowhere.
$33.
He's got all
40.
facets of his game working. Ronnie O'Sullivan, positions like this, you just fancy him to clear up, don't you?
41.
Mere mortals, you think, oh, don't really fancy him here. With Ronnie, it's hard to see him missing sometimes. See, this is a really tough clearance. But look at the control in this as well. That's played to the inch.
46.
That's where he'd have put the cue ball with his hand there, deciding to play it right-handed. If he can reach it, I think he would be able to. So one good shot here. Be nice and behind the last red as well.
$47. $54.
Just red and colour needed then.
$55.
Well, didn't have the angle perhaps to get
Ronnie
round for the
O'Sullivan,
black.
55.
So he settled for the snooker. 27 in front, 27 on.
You regret that there, Ronnie. He could have made a better job of that in behind the black. Stuart hits this. He has done. He'll still be in this frame. The house is luck. Can Ronnie get through to the yellow? Don't think so.
It's in O'Sullivan's favour that the pink is safe. Some protection against the clearance. Bingham would need to tie. The yellow attempted, but runs safe. Whatever that last shot was, it wasn't an attempt to develop the pink, because O'Sullivan needs only one further colour to secure the frame.
Two.
Good long pot from Bingham.
Five.
Needs to clear up to tie, and obviously pink is going to be the problem.
Nine.
Not far enough round. His intended next shot was to pot pink to middle and cannon the pink via the black cushion.
Yeah, there's no path to the pink now, Clive, so he'll be leaving a double if he can. But give
14.
himself a chance. Like I say, he'll definitely be playing it. Big shot this. Expect him to be on the black.
Stuart Bingham, 14.
Played it with full commitment, knowing that it was almost certain the pink would finish in the middle of the table if it didn't go in. This pink for a 2-1 lead for O'Sullivan. Safely in. O'Sullivan leads by 2 frames.
Frame 4. Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
On the last 2 evenings, Ronnie O'Sullivan has beaten China's best player, Ding Junhui, 6-5. Australia's best player, Neil Robertson, current world number 1, 6-5 also. Now he's intent on building up a lead in this inaugural final of the Champion of Champions against Stuart Bingham. O'Sullivan leads 2-1. Top player in playing that kind of safety is always disappointed to catch a baulk colour, particularly full in the face. A red available as we could see, but no future in it because black not available, pink not available.
And that good length of cue ball from Stuart. Ronnie any chance to return there to baulk, so just coming down to see where he wants to leave the cue ball on this black cushion. Shouldn't really be a problem. Playing the red second right a picture, second left a picture. Excuse me. Just drop this cue ball on the back cushion. Chosen to play the other one. But same result, so it's again a little bit of cat and mouse here, but Stuart with the upper hand in the safety exchange. Be tracking behind the brown here, push this red in and out of baulk. Gonna get the cue ball somewhere near behind the brown. Looks like he's just short of base. Here's a good safety shot from O'Sullivan. This time Stuart Bingham's got a problem.
Foul. Ronnie O'Sullivan 4.
Well, you sometimes see if a ball is hit very hard into the jaws of a pocket. Just a brief point, if that red had run all along the cushion rail and dropped in the other corner, that would have been quite legal. You don't often see it though.
Doesn't happen very often, does it, that? Seen it a few times. Most unusual. Now has Stuart done any damage here? I think he's just okay. He was unlucky there, shot, but the red found a gap back up the table. Now this is going to have to be played properly. Say that because of that red that Kubel's just gone past. He's played it pretty well, but it will go to the the bottom right corner this time. His options is a choice of a couple, but this is a big shot now. Will he play it as a shot to nothing? Oh, he's played it full-blooded. But once again, his long game's not up to scratch.
O'Sullivan so far potting only 1 in 4 of his long pots.
One.
For the purposes of our statistics, anything over 6 feet is deemed a long pot.
Six.
That's half the length of the table.
Of course, we call it a snooker table, Clive. Is the right terminology that it's actually a billiard table?
Well, it was for about 100 years, but snooker is so much more popular than billiards these days that it's become a snooker table.
7.
I've heard a few billiard players down the years say about, yeah, I'm going for a game of snooker. They say, yeah, you're going for a game of snooker on a billiard table though. They get a bit pedantic about it.
Twelve. 13.
Well, that was a gem of a shot. That's as good a shot as Stuart's played today. Really struck that beautifully. Oh, that's a horrendous kick he's had there. It's took all the pace out the cue ball.
Well, he was going to attempt a red to right corner, I'm sure, but it took so much speed out of the cue ball, that kick, that cue ball's finished so near the side cushion that Bingham has changed his shot.
Mentioned earlier, Clive, didn't I, about his success with the rest. It was 92% coming into this final. But we can safely say he's one of the best rest players out there, Stuart Bingham. That was another cracking shot.
He's played pretty well all round.
22.
Well, the cannon hasn't helped him there, but 94% success with the rest throughout the tournament. %100 today.
Green. Stuart Bingham, 23.
Well, kind run on the ball there for O'Sullivan. Bingham snookered.
Yeah, we've said studio earlier, and we've said in commentary, it's important that Stuart Bingham stays with Ronnie as long as he can in this match. I know about how good a front runner Sullivan normally is. He gets the 3-1. He's going to be in trouble, so it's a massive frame, this, Clive, isn't it, for Stuart Bingham?
I think the very top players against the next echelon are more likely to win the longer the match is, because they've got more frames in which to make just that extra degree of class tell. And of course O'Sullivan has done that in the major tournaments. 4 titles, 4 UKs, 4 Masters.
Yeah, a good example of that, Clive, was last spring's World Final, wasn't it? I think Barry Hawkins held Ronnie to 7 each at one stage.
And then he pulled away to win 18-12.
6. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 6.
left himself slightly more to do with that pot than he expected to. Expected to have slightly better position, screwing back off the blue. That red wasn't far from the pocket, but you've still got to be accurate.
I think that's an example. That shot there from Stuart Bingham of just a case of the cloths. You know, 6 days old now. That, well, this is day 6. Matches on that table, and as the week goes on, the pockets do get just that little bit tighter, especially in that kind of shot that Stuart had.
Because the sheen just wears off the cloth, and the balls don't slide in quite as they do on the first couple of days.
Seven. Okay. Eight.
Once again there, Ronnie just dropped short in the blue, but still decent
13.
in this red. That's the key to it. Apart from, can he pot it? Can he get a nice angle and a colour? Just to attack those 5 reds.
$14.
Had to avoid the ping and hit the right hand side of the
90.
cluster there. Didn't quite manage it.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 19.
I think it shows how switched on O'Sullivan is, and really wanting to play, that he relishes battling out the scrappy frames as well as those that are decided in 1 or 2 visits. He's got all the patience in the world when he's in this kind of mood.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with that, Clive. Give our viewers a little insight into Ronnie. I spent about 20 minutes, half an hour on the practice table with him yesterday, and he was practicing what the professionals would call the real hard stuff. You know, thin safeties, like a shot he played a couple of shots ago. He was working hard on those thin blacks off the spot, that kind of thing that just sharpens you up for matches. Really does put in hard work. Practice table. He's mentioned that a few times in interviews, hasn't he, Ronnie? He says, okay, I've got some talent, but I've still got to work hard at my game. As I say, you can be sure he does.
Well, there have been a couple of books recently by Malcolm Gladwell and Syed, and with both of them the theme has been that however much natural ability you've got, you don't develop into a world-class player unless you do 10,000 hours of practice. And I know that O'Sullivan has done that. Started playing seriously when he was 10, when he made his first century.
One.
Yeah, so at last, Ronnie, there's a bit of success in the long game department. It wiped its feet, mind you, but having dropped nicely on the pink here, a decent chance to, if not win the frame at this visit, at least put itself in a strong position. The red most in the open, past the black, so a choice of reds here.
Seven.
Probably like to get rid of the middle one of the three, but whether he fancies it or not, yeah, this one. Oh, beautiful shot.
8.
Well, has left this red behind the black thinner than he intended to. And that created sufficient extra difficulty for him to miss it.
That surprises me. Stuart felt that it would go in, but he had to be so precise, it had to hug the cushion all the way along. As we see, it left the rail, so Sullivan can negotiate this plant successfully.
1.
He's just about in the black as well, so if this black goes in, he's set fair to take that 3-1 lead at the interval.
8. 9.
Wow.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 9.
That black would have secured the frame for O'Sullivan, but as it is, in cannoning the red, given Bingham a chance to pull the frame out of the fire.
1.
Brown not ideally situated, mind you.
Seven. 9.
This situation not dissimilar to that in the second frame, when Bingham had a fleeting chance of a winning clearance.
$12.
Yeah, it's not ideal for Stuart. He's got ever so slight angle in this, but the harder you play it, obviously, the less chance you have a pot in this. We'll just try and screw it back. It's possible. Oh, what a shot this is.
16.
Shot of the day.
Yeah, he deserves everything that he gets from that. That was, well, sumptuous pot from Stuart Bingham there. Couldn't see any way he could pot that at that pace, so 10 out of 10.
$21.
Well, O'Sullivan is going to pay the penalty for missing
27.
a simple frame ball, which would have given him a 3-1 lead.
34.
So with that 34 clearance, Stuart Bingham levels the match at 2-all at the mid-session interval.
Well, there we are then, all square midway